Right, welcome to the channel, ladies and gents. Got some industry news today, quite big industry news. Not only does it pertain to, I guess, Marvel and Disney movies, but kind of like the wider narrative, right? Like you've got Kevin Feige, who's now taken over Marvel, like proper, like the entirety of Marvel. And this is a sign of that. So Marvel TV division is now folded into the studio unit. And they're going to be making a couple dozen layoffs, apparently. This is an exclusive, as reported at least anyway, by The Hollywood Reporter, and since other outlets as well. Now, Jeff Loeb, who was working with Marvel TV, he did all these scripted shows and things like that. We've known that he's been leaving for a while, since like October. And this is kind of the sign of the times. This is what we're expecting to happen. But it is interesting for a number of reasons. And it just goes to show that, Disney and Marvel, they're not in trouble by any stretch of the imagination. This isn't like oh, they're in trouble. But it does make for some kind of interesting thoughts about where they're going to go with the TV. Because, of course, yes, Kevin Feige does great stuff with the movies and things like that. Although many people would argue now that the direction they're going in isn't necessarily the best one. But not only that, there is an argument to be made for the fact that it's good to have different people running different things because, Marvel movies are their own thing. Do you really want the exact same tone in Marvel TV shows consistently, constantly? Are you going to get fatigued with that? So there's an argument to be made for all of this stuff. So this is interesting for, like I said, a number of reasons. Right. So Marvel Television has a new home. The TV arm of Marvel Entertainment is being folded into the Marvel Studios group. So just directly under Feige. I mean, he was running it anyway, but yeah, directly under them. Now Marvel, all current development and Hulu's slate of animated comedies and live-action drama, Hellstrom, will remain on course. Although they have stopped one already. It's like a Tigra and something else that's been cancelled now, which is a bit of a shame because that was supposed to be R-rated, I believe. Now those other ones will remain on course. However, no further development will come from the unit overseen by Jeff Loeb, the executive who launched Marvel into live-action scripted TV originals as head of Marvel Television. He will remain on board during the transition, but it is unclear when Loeb's last day will be. And his departure, of course, from Marvel has been expected since October, which, yeah, it has. Now, Marvel TV Senior VP of Current Programming and Production, Kareem Zreik, and members of his team will join the Marvel Studios group. Although they're slated to kind of join them, we could probably still expect some of those... We can still expect some of those team members to be laid off, I would imagine. Now, Kareem will continue to oversee current projects in production, but layoffs are expected to come as select roles will be eliminated in the near future as a result of the reduction in volume. Sources say a couple dozen employees will be let go from the company. That's a real shame. You'd think a massive company like Disney could just repurpose these people rather than just lay them off. So, I guess that does begin to wonder, are they being laid off because of the reduction in volume? Or are they being laid off because they can't be repurposed because their skill set isn't that important? Like I say, there's an argument to be made for all of these things. Again, you would genuinely believe a company like Disney would just repurpose employees for different things in different projects, but apparently not. Now, the writing has been on the wall for Marvel Television to be folded into the larger Marvel Studios unit for some time, ever since Kevin Feige was basically announced. He has overseen the multi-billion-dollar Marvel Cinematic Universe, which was elevated to serve as the comic book powerhouse's chief creative officer on October 15th. He's even in charge of the comic books now, which I think is a shame, really. He's creative everything. He's in charge of absolutely everything. And this is what I mean, everyone... It's inarguable what Kevin Feige has done for Marvel, right? We can't argue that. It's been fantastic. It's been massively successful. But do you want everything to sing from the same tune? Everything. Probably not. If that was the case, you wouldn't have had the likes of, like Deadpool, for instance. Not the movie, but the comic book. With one creative vision... You don't get the very, very popular outliers that are produced every now and then. So I do have some trepidation over someone being in charge of absolutely everything creatively. I don't think that's necessarily right. And I don't think it breeds good competition either. Now, with his promotion, Feige now oversees the creative direction of the company's content creation, including publishing, film, TV, and animation, so literally everything. As part of the consolidation, Loeb's Marvel TV and the animated-focused Marvel Family Entertainment have also moved under Feige's Marvel Studios banner. That officially knocks down the wall that had existed between Marvel's film and TV units. The move does not mean that Marvel Television will cease to exist. To be clear, the news illustrates the newfound control that Feige will have over the division. Now, while Feige's successfully led Marvel's film unit to its first Best Picture nomination for Black Panther, that can be argued that was for, other reasons. The first superhero movie to ever earn such recognition, and its record-breaking Avengers Endgame box office return, topping Avatar as the highest-grossing film of all time. Loeb's TV efforts haven't proved nearly as successful. Now, I do find some of the comments that they make here interesting. Because some of the things are not his fault. So clues that Marvel would consolidate its development under Feige can be seen in the fact that Disney Plus, the forthcoming streaming service from Marvel's parent company, turned to the film division to oversee Marvel TV series. So that makes sense. But also, it's because those people have been dealing with those actors and things like that for a long time anyway. So Marvel will be a cornerstone of Disney Plus, which launched November 12th, and will feature spin-offs of MCU titles. I don't think it will be. I mean, it will be, but I don't think that would be the main reason people do it. Like, I think the main reason people have even signed up to it at the moment has all been for The Mandalorian, amazingly. Personally. And there are some good shows coming. I mean, you've got Loki, WandaVision, worst name ever, The Falcon and the Winter Soldier, and other Marvel TV series set to launch on streaming services like What If, Ms. Marvel, She-Hulk, and Moon Knight. Moon Knight will probably capture some people. But all of these shows are produced not by Loeb's unit, but by Feige's film division, which is interesting. But they would have to be, because they have to have the same tone absolutely as the movies, right? They have to have that tone. Otherwise, there's a huge kind of disparity between the two, like a huge difference. So now here's where I think it's a little bit of a jab at Loeb here. So it's in his decade at the helm of Marvel TV, Loeb was responsible for a number of broadcast, basic cable and streaming originals, but many of them had strict rules about integrations with the MCU. ABC's Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. featured occasional yet minor tie-ins with Avengers and will end in 2020 after 7 seasons. Jesus, that's gone on for ages. Way too long. ABC and Marvel attempted a S.H.I.E.L.D. spin-off back in 2015. Then also ABC's most successful Marvel show, The Female-Fronted Agent Carter, after 2 low-rated but critically praised seasons. That was obviously cancelled. Now, the other thing he's blamed for, as we go down, is to do with the Inhumans. It wasn't really his fault though, was it? You had Ike Perlmutter dealing with that. He's got like some weird obsession with the Inhumans. It says, elsewhere, Loeb was behind the groundbreaking 5-show Netflix deal for one larger connected Marvel world featuring Daredevil, Jessica Jones, Iron Fist, Luke Cage. So he was influential in that. So yeah, like the ABC ones are not particularly great, but the fact that he was influential and absolutely behind the Netflix deal is crazy. Right? And I bet you anything it wasn't to do with him the reason why that got canned either. I guarantee it. Loeb also expanded Marvel's TV footprint to cable with series including Noah Hawley's now completed Legion. So again, hugely, massively respected shows. Like people love Legion. He's behind that. While Feige prepped film spin-offs for Disney Plus, Loeb readied a slate of animated shows for Disney-owned Hulu, like MODOK, Hitmonkey, Tigra and Dazzler, that's the one that's been cancelled now, and Howard the Duck. These are all the ones which people are really looking forward to, and The Offenders. Now, they remains in the works, though work on Tigra has been paused. Apparently, that's been cancelled. Some reports say that that's been cancelled. But then again, yeah, Loeb's biggest misstep has been in 2017 to take on the Inhumans, but that was all to do with Ike Perlmutter. So it's a shame, really. It all sounds like a lot of... yeah, I don't know. Just sounds like a whole lot of finger-pointing here. But it's interesting because I do think this opens up a wider question. Like, is Kevin Feige the man to run it all? Do you want him to run it all? Just put my cards on the table. I don't, because I don't think that it doesn't give any there's just no competition. There's no reason for people to do good, better, or change things. There's no creative separation. You can have someone to oversee it creatively, but you need other people to step in and say, oh yeah, but wouldn't this be cool to add this little bit of flair here and there? You know, the Marvel Cinematic Universe has a set-in-stone style, like it all looks the same. And that's good for continuity between the films, but for TV shows, you don't need that. I don't think so, anyway. So we'll see. Remains to be seen. I'm not saying this is good or bad news, to be honest. It's just interesting. I think definitely one man can have too much power, as the saying goes. So let me know your thoughts on this down below in the comment section. If you're new here, do hit subscribe. You can stay up to date on the world of pop culture and movie news by hitting the bell notification icon. Anyway, guys, thanks so much for watching. Oh, actually, hold on. I have a Xenomorph Christmas t-shirt. Well, Christmas sweater. Check it out on my Teespring store. Linked underneath the video. Almost forgot about that. Uploaded it yesterday. Anyway, guys, thanks so much for watching. We've missed age. Take care.